Okay, here we are this morning again for part 2 of the I Know That You Know practice. And it's actually a good deal a serendipitous thing that we got to do this because I felt bad in the part 1 for a couple reasons. One is because it got cut off, and I discovered why it got cut off at the end, because my camera only allows for 25 minutes of recording a video type segment. So it cut off at 25 minutes. And another reason I'm glad is because on part 1, I didn't know what all the chords were, the names of the chords were, but I did a little research on the internet. There's a really neat deal on there called Chord Finder, Guitar Chord Finder, and it's free. And it's really neat because you can just put in the notes, like let's see. And it's got a fretboard with the strings, and you just put, and you just click on where the actual fretted notes are, and it will give you the name of the chord, the primary name, and it usually gives you like 4 different names of possible, I guess, within the context of what you're playing or how you're playing it. But it'll give you the primary chord name and possible other chord names for that string positions. So I got this, and we're just gonna do today that final section of I Know That You Know, where you start with sliding in that section. Cover in this part 2 section. So anyway, that first chord, by the way, I've got my notes here. I wrote down the chord names. That first chord is a D7 with a suspended second. I guess that would be the suspended second there, yeah. Or D7, also referred to as D7 sus2, but D7 with a suspended second. And then the next chord is a G13th with a flat 9. So a long name on that one. You don't get that D in the bass, you just get the G in the bass. I guess you could play the D, but it's primarily the G in the bass. And then just a plain old C, and then an A9th. There's your 9th. The B there, and then D9, and then G9, and then it goes to that cool muted bass note riff. Then back to the D7 suspended second. Back to the G13 flat 9. Then the little C run here. Let's see. Back to the D7 suspended second to the G13 flat 9. Oh, I'm sorry. No, back to the D7 sus2 and then to D minor 9th. That's D minor 9th. So the D7 suspended second. To the final sequence, which is a C6 to A7 to D9. And then this chord, I didn't know the name, but it's a long one. It's G sharp minor 7th with a sharp 5. Okay, wait a minute. On that C9, you get the C and then the G in the bass. Sharp minor 7th with a sharp 5, and then to just G7 period, and you catch that B as a final before you go to the what I referred to as Chet's what do you call it? Whole tone scale type riff. And then sliding up to the C. Now that final C, I just catch the top 3 notes. On that whole tone riff, there's a couple important things, but one is the rhythm. It's da 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 dee. It kind of like skipping or jumping da 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 da. So the rhythm's important. The notes, I'm catching 3 strings there. I'm not going to try to call out the actual notes of each string. I'm just going to let you see my fingers. And then 2 strings. That's on the 3rd and the 2nd string. So it's just 2 strings. Bear with me just 1 second. Hurry. Little pause in the action there. I had to let the dog in the door because he was scratching, and once he starts scratching, it's all over with. So anyway, that's basically it. thing also to note on the pattern of this whole tone scale riff is that it goes back and forth quite a bit. I'll show you what I mean. Now once you're to there and you're going back to this, and then back to that, and then back to that, back to that, back down to that, and back up to that. So there's a lot of back and forth. So yeah, let me do that final sequence one more time. Okay, so that's basically it. We know you know the chord names now, and that final sequence with the whole tone scale riff. And I hope you've enjoyed this, the part 1 and the part 2. And as Paul Harvey used to say on the radio, and now you know the rest of the story. Good day.